Hello fellow Protendos, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my name is Fleur and today we are back with more Weiss Schwarz deck profiles. And it do be Wednesday, my dudes, so I am gonna try to do this little series, within the series basically, every Wednesday, hopefully, if all things go well. I'm gonna do like waifu themed decks of Weiss Schwarz, Waifu Wednesdays basically, so I'm just testing the waters with this, but yeah, anyway, we are back, more Weiss Schwarz deck profiles. Here we are, back on the Schwarz simulator, which Ushi Road actually found it and took it down, so the simulator is no longer available to get, but until they get an official one, you know, a real one for us to use, I'm gonna continue using it. Long story short, they told us not to use it, but I'm gonna continue using it anyway, because this is just easier to also showcase, you know, decks for videos like this. So yeah, anyway, as you can obviously see, we're doing Sword Art Online, right? But it is only one character, which is Leafa, because I like Leafa. It's been very, you know, a long time since I've watched Sword Art Online. So yeah, let's just dive into the deck real quick. Obviously, it's a green deck, and the reason why I like Leafa is sort of obvious, you know. She looks like an elf, 20 ears is good, and she's, you know, big certain areas, and yeah, she was a good character too, if I remembered right. Her name is Sugu, but yeah, let's get into it. A little bit of fair warning, this is kind of old. I'm using like kind of old school Sword Art Online cards here. Okay, so let's get started. So this is green Leafa, level 0, plain as day. It's very simple. This card is a vanilla 3k vanilla 0. Sometimes, you know, vanilla is just there just to be stick. Sometimes you just need a body on board just to get things going, especially in the early game. You like power and you like to get resources, you know, stock. This might be the deck for you. This deck does get big numbers. It does get stock going, because that's basically what green really did back in the day of Schwarz. So, and this really shows it. It also shows the age, as you can see, because it's one of my very first decks I built from scratch with the help of some friends. Let's move on. Next is the Leafa Sharp Observation. So this one has an effect, and the first effect we're going to talk about here. It's continuous. If the number of cards in your stock is 3 or more, this gets additional 1000 power. So that is very easy to pull off, because again, green is all about stock and power. But yeah, it gets 35 power for level 0 if the stock conditions is met, and that's pretty big power, plus an additional of whatever power you give to it, you know, during the game, the climaxes and whatnot. So yeah. Next is Reliable Guide Leafa. So level 0, we play a playset of it's a little bit overkill, I think, but you know, again, I was just excited to build one of my favorite Weiss Schwarz decks from scratch. So yeah, 4 of. So every time it attacks, choose one of my other characters. It gets a level at 1000 power. So the level is somewhat important. So when you give a level, it can avoid, like, that character can avoid a level 0 like stock bombs and whatnot, bottom deck effects. Because usually there's some cards out there that, like, if this card in front of it, when it gets reversed, they put it at the bottom of the deck, put it in the stock. It gains a level, it will protect it for those effects, but then it's vulnerable for other effects that are anti-changes and whatnot. But anyway, next we have pretty much an oversizer. We run 4 copies of this, or a playset of this as well. If you do not have any other characters in your set stage, just gets 1500 power. So 4K if she's by herself in the center stage. Note that it says center stage. You can put stuff in the back row, the backstage to support it. But yeah, again, it's fairly easy to do. It's just a little bit of stage control, and it also forces your opponent to overcommit on board at level 0 just to beat over this. Or again, they could just play those level 0 stun bombs or whatever. But yeah, or just, you know, side attack it. Don't deal with that at all, because it is a level 0. So they can side attack it for free, but you know what I mean. Those are the uses I got out of it when I was playing it. Okay, so next is another vanilla. Again, you can see the edge of the deck. But yeah, here we go. Here's the next card. It's Leafa's Bashful Expression, and boy, is it. It's a vanilla. It's an oversized level 1. It costs 1 stock to play though. And that's pretty much it. I kind of like the art too. It's a little bit cute with the expression that do be a bit bashful. So yeah, moving on, because there's not much else to say about that. Again, another vanilla. Again, there's nothing wrong playing with vanillas. You know, sometimes just slamming down a card for the sake of getting a body and attacking to generate some stock during the attack phase is just good enough. Yeah, nothing to say here. Leafa's in a panic. She do be panicking. I like the, you know, card art. The little expression that she got spooked. Basically. Yeah, now we're moving on. Climax combo. Now we're really talking about the deck here. Now it's a real Weiss Schwarz deck. I guess you could say it has a climax combo. Okay, so this costs a stock to play. It kind of makes sense once I read out the effect here. It only has one effect. So climax combo. When this card battles opponent becomes reverse, if a card named Assistance from the Fairies, again we're going to get to the climaxes in the bottom once we're there. So Assistance of the Fairies is in your climax area. Choose up to 1 avatar or net character in the waiting room, put it into your stock, and reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher, you can put it into your hand. So you get 1+ potentially off of this card for hand, and you generate stock, which is pretty crazy, but you have to reverse a character, which is fairly easy to do. Assist from the Fairies is a gold bar as well. So when you slam that down to get the combo going, that's another 1,000 power right there. So 75 basically, and plus whatever else is going on, assistant in the back row or one of the other level 0s over here that attacks, or gives a level 2, but attacks like this one for example will give another 1,000, so 2k 85. You see what I mean? So it stacks up. It's pretty easy to at least reverse cards that are level 1 or lower for her to get that going, and maybe even level 2 sometimes. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. So you have 1 effect. Okay, next we have another level 1 with an effect again, thankfully. It is a encore, as you can see there. I think it's one of the best encores in the game. I think, besides, I mean, some people argue the top deck encore is okay too. You take 1 damage, you save your hand, you save your stock. So, but yeah, she gets her in encore. She's free to play. This is Sylph Girl Leafa, and the other ability. It's somewhat interesting. It's an act. I mean, at least at the time, I thought it was interesting when I first read this. Rest 2 of your avatar net characters. Okay, it's an act ability, so it's optional. When this card gets 2,500 power until the end of the turn, so it just gets big numbers. You just rest 2 characters, usually in the back row, because you want your other 2 cards in the front row to attack as well. You know. Always get at least 3 attacks off each turn, generate stock and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. The encore is nice, but the act ability is just somewhat overkill. You know, especially if it's just giving this card 2,500 power. Like I would like it if rest any 2 characters. I mean, 2 is kind of a lot, to be honest. Or maybe rest 1 just to get 1,000. But 2,500 power for 2 characters. Okay, that's somewhat fair, but I wish you could choose where to get that power to instead of just her getting the power. Because, I mean, 4,500 is base for a level 1 power, so. But it does have encore, it is free to play, so beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Anyway, moving on, we're going to play 4 copies of this. It's basically a level 1 assist. Yeah, 4 copies is overkill. You'll really just need 2 in the back row. Yeah, an assist. It's an assist. Continuous, all your other characters get 500 plus power, right? Time limit Leafa. The art's cute too. That's another reason why I played 4 copies of it and why I play it in general. But yeah, that's the assist power. And then the act. Pay 2, rest this card. Just your deck up to 1 avatar or net character. Reveal to your opponent, put it in your hand, show your deck. So I like the search power off this card. Yeah, 2 stock is a lot, and resting itself is quite the cost. But besides the resting, the 2 stock is not really a big deal for this deck. Because again, it just generates stock, man. I can just get that stock going if all goes well. So, and the 500 plus power is nice. It is also global. I want to note that as well. That's pretty important. Usually cards who assist other characters with given power is just cards in front for other conditions. But yeah, that's why I run 4, because the art, it's free to play too. Alright, next is a backup. We are now on the level 2s. It is a 2/1 green backup. Gather materials Leafa. Sorry for the noise sound effect there. I'm putting down the cards of this deck in real life down as I talk here, just to get that sensitive feeling that I'm talking about it. Yeah, gathering materials Leafa. This is an interesting card because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it's for English or if for JP or both sides. I think this is the very first type of backup of its kind. I could be wrong about that, correct me if I am, but basically it's an auto effect. So when you use this card backup, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a avatar net character, add it to your hand and then discard a card. So it basically digs through your deck a little bit. If it hits, you just trade a card basically from your hand, put it into the waiting room, and then add that top card, top of your deck, to your hand. So, which is pretty likely. The only time it misses if it's a climax, obviously, but every other character, including herself, in this deck is avatar net. So I just wanted it for the power, and I thought that effect was nice too. So I was like, yeah. But little did I know, it's a little bit more special than that. It gives 2,500 power too, which is nice, you know. Again, you don't really need it because these cards get big numbers, but you never know these days now. You just never know. But yeah. Alright. Next we have Leafa gets her hand bit. What a little bit of a funny title for a card. But yeah. This card is obviously an oversizer for level 2. It is like 500 away for the base power of a normal level 3. That's why I put her in here. Very, very huge, gigantic. She gets 2 soul. She has base 2 soul as well. So she's basically a vanilla level 3 if you really think about it, which is kind of crazy. But yeah. So, but she has a downside effect. Your other characters cannot side attack, which is not really a down effect if you really look at this deck in detail. Basically, when you sand this down, I'm trying to reverse a level 3 normally, just attacking it, right? Because the power is insane. And the little +1 of soul, base soul, 2 soul is nice. She costs 2 stock, which is meh, because level 2 you generally don't want to spend resources. At level 2, you just kind of want to save that for, or keep it going with the level 1s too, or just other stuff. Potentially save characters if you really want to, for the backup and stuff for the other level 2. But not really for this. This is just kind of, I don't know. I thought it was funny too of what's going on here. I forgot when she's getting bit by. Again, it's been a while. But yeah, I play her to like try to beat over level 3s, I guess. maybe even level 2s. But you might be over swinging with her, because there's like 5 2-soul climaxes in here. So usually when you hit with her, you trigger one of those, and you have the other one on board as well. You go to probably over swing, man. Your opponent's probably going to cancel. But yeah, the side attack thing is not really a downside because all these Leafa cards are probably going to get a lot of power anyway, so you could beat over most lanes, probably all 3 lanes most of the time. Again, if all goes well. Nowadays it's crazy what's going on with Weiss Schwarz, but yeah, that's not really a downside basically to me, but who knows now. Alright, next we have a level 2 climax combo. Again, didn't know what I was doing. I kind of liked the art. I just thought, you know, having a level 2 climax combo is pretty crazy at the time, you know, again, when I was building this deck. But yeah, we only played 2 copies of this because, again, you generally don't want to spend too much stock at your level 2 game, right? You want to save the stock for your level 3 game, or just keep the push going for your level 1s. But basically, she has 1 effect. Okay, it basically is 2, but it's split into 1. So you have to pay 1 stock for this climax combo. So when this attacks, if spell chanting is in your climax area, you may pay the cost. So it's optional. Turn at this turn, this card gets 1000 power and the following ability auto. When this card's level 2 or higher battle point becomes reversed, you may put that card in the opponent's clock. So a clock kicks a potentially changer, basically, or you know, a card that's been early played, a level 3 that's been early played or whatnot. So when it reverses it, it just straight up clock shoots it into the clock, which is pretty mean. There's another card in here some of you might know already that also kind of just clock kicks a character into the opponent's clock. Without a climax combo, I might add, but yeah, I just thought this was pretty cool. It's pretty mean if you can pull it off, but it doesn't come up too often because again, there's only 2 copies of it in the deck. Spell chanting is also a 2-soul climax, which is yikes. Could mean a big fat cancel for your opponent because you might be over swinging, especially if you play one and you trigger another one. I think you hit it for 6. So if it hits, awesome. If it doesn't, which is most likely, oh well. But at least you clock kick that character into the clock, right? Potentially. So yeah, that's basically it. I just thought it was pretty cool. I could just kick the Leafa gets her hand bit out for 2 more of these, but then I have to commit more on the 2 soul climax, and I don't know, man. But yeah, moving on. So here is another assist, and I like the art of this one for obvious reasons. So skilled Sylph Leafa, 2/1. So you pay 1 stock for her. All of your other avatar deck characters get 1000 power, so pretty big power, I guess. And then here's the kicker here. Auto, pay 1, rest this card. When another of your characters becomes reversed in battle, if this card is standing, you may pay the cost. If you do, until the end of the turn, that character gets the following ability, which is the Hand Encore ability, which is pretty interesting. You do gotta rest her, you do gotta pay stock, which, you know, the stock's not a big issue, but the resting, meh. But, you know, then again, she's going to be sitting in your back row anyway, so I don't run a Brainstormer in here or anything like that. I would potentially rest her to get something else going. So for the most part, if you're going to do this effect, it is mostly always online, no pun intended, you know, so online. And available to save at least 1 character. Of course, you're supposed to have a card in hand that you want to ditch, a character in hand you want to ditch for that character to stay on board for 1 extra turn. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty cool. Resting her, pay 1 stock, and then 1000 power is pretty nice too, you know. especially with cards like this and the level 1. They gotta get the reverse going to get the climax combos going. So yeah, she helps with that. I usually search her out off of this level 1, the time limit Leafa. Of course, once I'm like level 1 or level 2, just to get the level 2 game going, I guess. So here we go, level 3, and I think this one's like the most important level 3 of the deck here. As you can see, I play 2 other level 3s, but this one I want to do a foil of. You'll see in a bit, but basically, I mean, other people play this card in their decks too as well. That's how good it is. It gets pretty big. It is a level 3, obviously, as you can see. Green, adventure with everyone, Leafa, but basically, you know, this is why I want to run 4 of it. Here we go, ability time. This card gets 500 plus power for each of your avatar net characters. So a full board, she's at 11.5 plus the assistance of the level 2 here, or the level 1 here, or the climaxes, etc., you know. So she can get very, very big. The second ability auto with this card is placed on the stage from your hand. You may look up to X cards on the top of your deck, choose up to one and add it to your hand, and put the rest into the waiting room. X is the number of avatar and deck characters you have. So a full board means you can dig up to 5 cards. Add a avatar and deck characters, which is very likely, you know, unless you hit 5 climaxes, then you might as well just concede in that match. Because wow. But thankfully that never happened to me. And then the third ability is the point ability and why people run here. So put 2 characters from your hand into the waiting room, okay? When this card battles opponent becomes reversed, you may pay the cost. If you do, put that battle opponent into your board stock. So again, just like this level 2 I mentioned a little bit earlier, this one needs a climax combo to get this going, right? It also gets 1,000 power, so 9k. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy. But this card's already at 9k power, right? It is a level 3, yeah. But it gets that 500 plus ability for every other avatar net that you have on board with it. Its first ability. And you got this climaxes in here, and you have these other cards. So it's insane, man. So the reversing the character with this character is very likely. They would have to like hex proof it, or like play a big backup to save that character, or you know, swap it around or whatnot, or bounce it back to hand, etc., etc. Like there's ways around it, but just to avoid that one guaranteed damage to not get kicked in the clock. So yeah, that's why people like her. She's also the most expensive card in this deck. She was like $20 something when I first bought it. That's why there's only 2 of her. I would like to run more of her, but at the time I just couldn't really afford it, and I'm just thankful that I got at least 2 in here. And I thought that was a crazy ability too, the third one, which it is, don't get me wrong, but like back in the day I thought like, man, cards like this exist for this game. Like that's so mean. I mean, I saw that for this level 2 here, and I thought that was pretty crazy, but this could just do it without a climax combo. So the thing is though, having 2 characters in hand all the time to get this effect off is somewhat hard to do, especially if this is just a solo green. Like you kind of need like red and green to get this going, because red has a lot of cards that's, you know, waiting room effects, so you can just add stuff to the hand. But you will have to just like constantly clock every turn just to get, you know, that +1 card, get that avatar going, or just stay neutral with this if it hits the level 1 or whatnot, just to get that effect going. Be considerate of the hand-on core abilities, so because it specifically says 2 characters. It's not like you can just ditch a climax out of your hand to do that effect. I wish, but like, man, that'd be kind of broken. That's her. That's the main big card of this deck, and pretty much why I started to make this deck, kind of. Besides, you know, of Leafa just being my favorite character and so on. So yeah. Next we have Leafa's Pure Wish. People do play this card too in their Sword Art Online decks. But Leafa's Pure Wish is a early play. Her condition is kind of interesting. There's not much of this condition anymore that I've seen to early play level 3s, which is if the number of cards in your deck is 5 or less, this gets -1 level in your hand. Your second ability is all the other avatar and that characters get 1500 power, which is sort of weird, to be honest with you. I find that kind of odd. Usually with effects like that, it's often an attack or a Clamorous combo just to get the boost going. Which, you know, don't get me wrong, 1500 is nice, it's just weird, because usually for an effect like that, that's like back row effects, you know what I mean? Assist effects, but it is continuous, it's all other characters, so she doesn't power up herself, which kind of makes sense because here's why. We're going to go to the third effect, and here's pretty much why. So, act, pay 1, discard 1 avatar in that character. Until the end of the opponent's next turn, this gets 3k power in the following ability. Continuous. This card cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects, so it gets hexproof for you magic users out there, right? So she protects herself from card effects, which is huge, and then 3k power on top of that. So she buffs herself at the cost of 1 character being discarded from your hand and 1 stock, which again the stock is not really a big deal. 3k power is sort of nice, but the hexproof ability is probably why the second ability doesn't buff herself, because that'd be kind of insane. It'd be 1500 power plus 3000 power of a pretty much an unstoppable force for like basically 2 turns, right? So I just thought the hexproof ability was nice, and I do needed an early play in this deck, and I just thought the deck condition was interesting. You know, 5 or less, I just don't see that hardly at all. It's usually just 4 characters on board or more, or 2 or less climaxes in way a little bit. Even that one's kind of rare and whatnot, or just card effects early play. So like if you have this card or this card on board, this could be played early play, or I think even cards in level cards could be early played now. But I think I hardly ever seen this one. So yeah, moving on to this card, which I think it's one of the best looking arts in this deck. Avatar Net, level 3. It's another Clamorous combo, or level 3 Clamorous combo. First ability though. So when this card is placed on the stage of your hand, you may put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. So to those who are new to all this, I have mentioned this before, I really like healers. I like cards that like heal every time I play them. So usually level 3s heal. That's just given. It's natural for level 3s to have this ability most of the time. So when this card's placed on the stage of your hand, you know, tuck out your clock in the waiting room. That's pretty common for level 3s, and I just like level 3s that heal me, because at that point you just want to stay in the game as long as possible so you can outlast your opponent, or just, you know, finish the game. Auto Climax combo, pay 1. When this card attacks, if a card named Fairy Dance is in your climax area, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 avatar net characters, reveal them to your opponent, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. So this can help, right, with her, or just the encores, I guess. But I don't know why you would. I mean, you could play defensively, use those cards you just added off of that effect to do the encore to save the other cards again, or save, you know, her, or her again, if it comes down to it. But yeah, just when it attacks, you just the card was pulled off. You don't even have to reverse, so you just have to attack. Even if this card gets defeated, it still does the effect. So yeah, moving on to the climaxes now. So here we are, assistant from the fairies. It's a gold bar. I would play 4 of 2, but again, you know, just starting out, learning the game at the time. Just want to build one of my first decks from scratch. But yeah, gold bar, assistant from fairies. Now, I could be wrong about this, But I do believe there's like 2 versions of this. I think there was like a 2 soul one or a gold boy. It might be the other climaxes actually. I could be mistaken actually. But yeah, this is assistance from the fairies. This helps with this level 1 magic attack Leafa. It's the climax combo, which I mentioned before. So that's what I mean, that like it gets power from the climax itself besides whatever else is going on the board, to get that reverse going so she can refund the stock you paid just to get her out, you know, potentially get a card at hand. So just give you big power, gold bar, so it pretty much is always in your hand basically. So yeah, next is Fairy Dance. So it might be this one that might have an alternate. Either is a 2 soul or a bag, I think that's why I didn't choose the other version. I think it went with the 2 soul. It might have been this one, but here's the a 2 soul green climax card, Fairy Dance, with the climax combo here, the level 3. So this one's a standard for a 2 soul. It gives 2,000 power and plus 1 soul to 1 character until the end of the turn, and you draw a card. So again, this helps with getting the hand consistent, staying strong for the level 3 game or level 2 game, or I guess even level 1 to keep hand consistent and just to get those encores going until you get the big girls on board, the big girls on the stage. So usually I just when I play this, I just like buff her because she's definitely worth it, you know, or this one I guess, or you know, any card that needs to reverse off to get the combo going or condition meta whatnot. It's nice, you know, just 2k and plus 1 soul. So this is what I mean for it. If you like power, you like stock, yeah, I guess give this a try. I don't know. Obviously, make some adjustments. You know, don't play a bunch of vanillas like me. But yeah, it is what it is. So here we go. The last card, which I think it's this one that has 2 alternates. It's the same name. Spell chanting, which is a climax card, which I get to in a second here. But it was either this or a bag. Again, I don't know which one, but I'm fairly sure it was this one. So yeah, another 2 soul, only 2 copies of. This is the level 2 climax combo right here, Magic Swordswoman actually. This is the 2 soul that blind stocks top of the deck into stock, and all you characters get a soul. Extra soul for the turn. So obviously that is a hit and miss, because if you stock another climax or a card you need, then whoops whoops I guess, but you know, it happens. And then you also have this climax here, the gold boy. If you trigger that also blind stocks. So yikes, I guess. That is the deck, guys. That is Leafa Waifu deck for Waifu Wednesdays. Weiss Schwarz deck profile. But yeah, that's the deck. Again, as you can see, when we went through it, it just gets power. It gets a lot of stock, and then this card. Basically, that's the threats. That's that's basically why I made this. And obviously, Leafa's my favorite character. So yeah, that's it. That's Leafa deck. So it's one of my oldest decks. I still play it to this day for the giggles and whatnot, because like some of these cards are very old, man. Like this just the one I'm on right now. It's like one of the first cards for Solar, and Solar came out like I don't know when, but a long time ago, that's for sure. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you guys liked it. So hopefully I'm gonna more Weiss Schwarz deck profiles soon down the road. These are fun. I like doing these. So yeah, there's not much else to say then Leafa is big. So yeah, Flare is out. Peace out, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye.